It's no secret that DNA released a little underbaked. But ever since its October 28th release date, it's made massive strides in graphics, features, and gameplay modes. Is it finally a good time to start or invite your friends? From permanent freebies to co-op actually mattering, here are the 10 best updates to DNA since launch. This video is sponsored by Duet Night Abyss, but as always, they let me yap about whatever I want. Let's start with the obvious. DNA looks way better now. The game used to look, let's say, less refined, but every patch there has been huge improvements. The environment artists have been working overtime for sure. After the 1.1 update, character models lost their thick outlines in exchange for some polish, but that didn't go down well with everyone. Many complained that characters didn't look anime enough, so now outlines are back, but looking much better than they did in 1.0. The improved lighting and minor model upgrades have done wonders for how the 3D models look, but there's still some way to go. The good news is that the devs have promised to keep working on them, and they even updated Flora's hair color after my complaints. Genuinely surprised that happened, since they released all her promo trailers with brown hair only to make some last-minute adjustments, but it's definitely a happy surprise. Hopefully, now that most of the older zones have received graphical overhauls, we'll get some updates to character models next. So DNA looks pretty good now, but did it ever get more generous? Well, yes and no, but it's improving all the time. Anyone who logs into DNA from this day forward will be given a bunch of gifts. That goes for new and returning players too. Added in version 1.4, Wanderer's Gifts is a permanent event that showers you with a bunch of useful stuff, but here are my favorites. A character selection chest on day 3 that lets you choose between Rhythm, Fantasio, or Rebecca, an amplification stimulator on day 7 which lets you upgrade a gold demon wedge, which saves you a chunk of time, and a skin selection box on day 14 that lets you choose a uniform skin for any of these characters. If you can't decide which character to choose from the character selector, I recommend Rhythm, as she's just incredible for AFK farming with enough investment. It's not always easy to jump into a new game though, and DNA has taken steps to recognize that since launch. If you're feeling overwhelmed by menus, there are a couple of ways to ease yourself into everything DNA has to offer. The Journey Guide added in version 1.4 will help give new players some direction by showing what rewards you can get from where. As for keeping track of limited time events, there's a feature that's pretty handy for old and new players alike. Heading to the events page and then tapping the top right corner where it says Reward Overview will bring up a list of all the rewards you can get and lets you quickly navigate to the event that gives them. This is the best way to keep tabs on how long each event lasts and what you can get, so you don't let the rewards you want pass you by. But let's be real, if you've played this game before, you're probably more worried about some of the systems that were already in place. Are they any better now? In DNA, you can earn every new character for free by playing through Immersive Theater. But what you might not know is this was actually updated so it's even easier to get new characters now. First, you only need to complete Act 1 of Featured Repertoire to get 20 secret letters for the latest character, which is usually enough for you to unlock the character. This should probably take about 5 minutes. Second, if you got to at least Act 12 of Immortal Repertoire last time, you'll only need to start from Act 9 the time after. Getting to Act 12 here lets you get the rest of the secret letter clues you can earn for the new character, and as you can see, that's way easier now. Not only that, but as of version 1.4, you can select one of 3 elements to use in Immortal Repertoire, meaning you can usually stick to using your favorites instead of worrying too much about the flavor of the month. That's not all that's improved. In version 1.3, characters started receiving buffs for the first time in the form of a 7th Intron. It's not as simple as just farming thoughts though. To unlock the 7th Intron, you first need to unlock this ticket called Repertoire Keepsake from Immortal Repertoire. You can get 2 of those tickets as rewards from clearing up to Act 12 of Immortal Repertoire, which you can then spend in the Immersive Theater shop on Essence Thoughts, not to be confused with regular thoughts. You only need 1 Essence Thought per character. Rebecca and Hellfire are the only characters with Intron 7 as of the making of this video, but the devs have promised more character buffs in the future. So you've got a bunch of secret letters, and now you need to grind them out in covert commissions to actually earn thoughts. This is where DNA used to be a bit too time-consuming for some players. Fortunately, there have been some updates to alleviate this feeling and make characters easily obtainable no matter your lifestyle. Stages people hated got cut from covert commissions, so now the pool available is made up of the best ones. Now, in certain commissions, you can use the auto-continue feature added in version 1.2. Grab a character like Rhythm, activate her ult, and rake in those rewards while you eat dinner. Instead of grinding character unlocks forever, this frees you up to focus on the challenging content you actually want to be doing. In addition, DNA is a lot more functional these days for anyone who prefers mobile or controller, just not both at the same time. If you tried playing mobile at launch, first of all, I'm sorry, and second of all, it's a much different experience now. Each patch has come with massive optimizations and extra features for mobile. It looks and runs way better, there's a separate helix sleep button, you can adjust the UI however you prefer, and there's an auto attack function so your hands can focus on movement. If controller worked on mobile, I'd definitely play that way, but the devs said in my interview with them that mobile controller support would be coming in a future update. How far into the future? That's anyone's guess. Fortunately, controller support on PC is doing great. If you played a while back, you might have noticed how buggy controller was, but it's actually in a really good place now. I can finally recommend playing DNA on controller, at least on PC. It's getting way easier to play with your friends, too. DNA has decided to address its content problem with co-op incentives. Version 1.4 added guilds, ensemble act, and abyss expeditions. Let me break them down. Completing weekly quests while in a guild earns you guild commendations, which you can spend on useful materials from the guild shop. Further expansions to the guild system will come in future updates, including guild boss raids. Immersive Theater Ensemble Act is an asynchronous co-op mode where you can open a room for players to join and help defeat enemies. You don't need to be online at the same time, but the player who does the best will earn extra rewards. Abyss expeditions are high-level dungeons that you can only do starting at trial rank 60. You need a special compass item to enter, but only the party leader spends their compass, so you're encouraged to play it with others. A perfect complement to the guild system. Why bother? Well, your reward is getting to engage with the Calamity weapon system, which are allegedly more than just stat sticks. I haven't been able to test that yet to tell you if that's true, so weapon adjustments didn't make this list. Fortunately, none of these new features force you to play with others, so those who prefer the solo life can continue as usual. Community is at its best when you can choose whether or not to engage with it. And it wouldn't be a community without random players flexing their skins for everyone to see. Skins have been a little controversial considering their often exorbitant price tags, but DNA has definitely come a long way from the out-of-touch and low-quality cosmetics it started with. For one, you can adjust the position of accessories and create some really interesting and unique looks. You can even shrink hats inside a character's skull to hide their head accessories. Freebies actually exist now too. Ever since version 1.3, DNA has been giving out free universal skins every patch, whatever the latest one is. You can earn 1 or 2 from events for specific characters, which is a great way of expanding your collection for free. And speaking of skins, gacha skins can be upgraded with effects. Despite how expensive these upgrades are, they didn't used to change colors with dye, which is something I criticized. But DNA has since fixed that, and now effects change color too. But my favorite skin update is that hairstyles can now be equipped independently of their outfit as of version 1.2, so you can make some awesome combinations. You can dye limited gacha hairstyles too, but sadly you can't dye any of the default outfits yet. With all these updates, you or a friend might be considering starting DNA, and if you do, you'll experience a much smoother start than the rest of us did. Version 1.4 made some significant changes to the prologue and early tutorials. Pointless grapple tutorials are gone, the environment itself has been changed to be nicer to run through, and some of those early Ice Lake quests have been adjusted as well. As a bonus, new players will see a much cooler main character selection screen. DNA has a brilliant story that I really recommend, but if you're the sort of person who absolutely always skips everything, there's even something for you. Once you get to the Sanctuary early on, you can choose to skip all the way to the end of Chapter 1, which unlocks all the major features of the game. I definitely don't recommend it unless someone has played the game before, as it also skips all the tutorials, but it might be a dream come true for real story haters. If it turns out you regret that decision, you can always go back and play through the quests you skipped anyway. DNA is in an odd position where it's competing with all these massive gacha games without actually selling characters through gacha itself. In my opinion, branching out in the direction of an MMO or co-op focused game is exactly what it needs to set itself apart from its peers. After all, good co-op is rare to see in gacha games. Compared to launch, DNA is a lot more respectful of players' time, especially given that you can still complete most content with just purple rarity wedges. The writing remains high quality, and to complement that, a story rewatch feature will be added in the future. It has its problems, but I'm happy to see DNA get better with every patch. And on the subject of patches, we got a peek at what's coming in the future, so check out this video to learn about everything added in version 1.4 and what's coming next.